Hey YouTube family. So y'all know I harvested those green beans that I showed y'all, right? I didn't get to them right away, but I'm getting to them before they can go bad so I can can them. I didn't get to them right away because I was doing stuff. It's only been, I think, 3 days. So I got them all washed up though, um, snapped and everything into smaller pieces, snapped the ends off, all that good jazz. So I was gonna leave a couple. Hold on, y'all, so that y'all can see. There they go. For those who may not have grown green beans before, so there's an end that's connected to the plant that you snap off, and then usually, almost like anything that you have, tomato or anything, there's like a little stem part. Snap that off, okay? And also snap off the little end on the other end too. But that's just me. I don't. Some people might eat it. I just snap it off. It's just a little piece. All right. So I got my pot, my canner already heated up. The water in there is heated up. I got a pot here with water that's boiling that I'm going to put into the jars. So I'm just going to fill the jars. This cold. I mean, not ice cold, but this has not been heated in any way. My jars have been clean. They were hot, but they cooled off now. Still even have like a little water residue in them. Don't worry about that. It's clean water from sterilizing the jars. You do want to sterilize your jars, guys. Sterilize them in a pot of water. You can do it in your dishwasher. You just want to sterilize them, okay? So all I'm gonna do, have my little funnel here, is fill up the jars with my green beans. I kind of shake them down in there so they kind of settle, so I can put as many of them, squeeze as many of them in there as I can, because once they go through the canning process, they soften up, and it doesn't take up, they don't take up as much room. Okay? Alright, so that's all I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to be filling up these jars, and after I get them all filled with green beans, then I will fill them with water. Okay? So they're going to look like that. Alright guys, so I'm going to add some kosher salt to each of my jars. As you saw, I was able to do 5 jars. One of them is not as full as the other ones, but it's going to be okay. So, I had 6 jars ready. I was able to do 5. So now I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt, kosher salt, to them. I didn't necessarily see this in any of the, I'm making a mess, y'all, videos that I saw where people canned up their green beans. I also have the ball book of canning. Probably should have pulled that out, but what I did is just quickly watched a couple people on YouTube. Because this will be my first time canning green beans. I've canned a lot of stuff, but not green beans yet. This is the first time I've grown enough green beans to can. How about that? Alright guys, so now I'm just going to add water. And this is just water that I've boiled until it got really hot. It's actually boiling now. The water is still, the pot is still on. The eye is still on. So these will need one 1-inch headspace I will show you after I get them done. Okay, so they're not at an inch yet, but I'm using hot water because I'll be taking these jars to this hot pot. So you don't want cold jars going into hot water because it can crack your jars. So what I'm going to do before I make sure I have enough water is I'm going to debubble. So I'm going to debubble my jars by just taking my debubbler. This came with my canning set. And you just kind of take it and press it down and around the beans, and so it releases any bubbles that are in between there and around those beans. You can see them kind of bubbling up too as you're doing it. Okay. So also on the other end of this, so to get closer, it has these tiers. Each tier is how much space is left in your jar. So up to this one, the last one here, the top one, that's an inch. And that's how much headspace we want. So you can set this right on the lip of your jar at the top one, and then you can add water until it touches the bottom of there. So you know that you have an inch headspace. I usually eyeball it because I can tell where an inch is, and from what I'm doing now, I can tell I'm always kind of on point. I never get it too far off. I'm pressing those down some. All right, so they all have a inch headspace. Some of them, when I'm eyeballing, it's a inch, but it sure don't look like it. Some of them don't be looking the same. Okay, so we got an inch headspace. Now all I'm going to do is take my lids, which I did rinse off. I didn't boil them, but I do rinse mine off. Nope. Before I put those lids on there, I need to clean the lid. I need to clean around my the lids of the lip of the jars. And that's so that we can make sure we get a proper seal. So that gets anything, like where I've touched it or anything, any oils or anything. You just take some vinegar and a paper towel. That's all I'm using. This is no specific kind of vinegar. I'm using apple cider. That's why it's got a little color to it. But I have just white distilled vinegar as well. But I'm using some apple cider because it doesn't matter. You just want to use some vinegar. And clean the lip of your jar so you can get a good seal. And there's nothing in between the jar and your lids that will prevent that from happening. Okay? So I'm just going to clean this one a little bit just because I had put it on there before I thought about that. Sometimes you think because you're not using like messy products like your sugar, it's not as necessary, but it is. All right, so let's grab these rings. And you're gonna fingertip tight, and there's one. So an inch kind of is like right at this bottom ring. You see how you can see the water moving around in there? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to drop that one down in there. Alright, so now I am going to put my top on here. Make sure it's lined up good. Seal it. So now it's sealed. And now I'm going to let this just come to pressure until this lip, there's a lip, let me see. Hold on, let me show you. There is a little pin that's going to pop up right there. That pops up. When that pops up, I'm going to then put my weight on top here. So let me put you back. And here's my weight. So my weight comes with 2 of these rings here. You find out how much weight you need on your particular canner per your elevation in your state, in your city. You just put that into Google if you want to find out that information, but it probably comes with it as well. I've had these for a while. This is my spare one because I don't know where I put my other one. Somebody come find my stuff. Where is it? But I don't know where I put it. So I had 2 when I bought it. So I'm going to wait. I'll hear it whistle when that happens. And then I will put this on top. And it just, literally, you just sit it on top like that. And it'll start rocking and everything. You'll hear all that happening. But once, see that kind of stills it. I don't know if you heard that sound of air. But once it gets going and I put that weight on, that's when the timer starts, okay? So my timer for canning these green beans do not start until I put that weight on. So I'm going to let that pop up. When it gets to pressure, I'll put the weight on, and then we have 15 minutes for it to process. So once I put the weight on, I'll start the timer for 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, all I do is I turn off my eye and I push this back away from the eye some and just let it come down from pressure. Once it comes down, this that was popped up is going to drop. Okay? Once that drops, I take the weight off. I usually will still wait a little bit, and then I will open this up without taking the lid off. I'll just open it up to kind of release some of that heat and still allow it to cool down some before I take the lid completely off, because again, I'm going to be taking hot stuff into a cooler environment because my house is cooler, okay? So that's what we're going to do. I just turn my eye up to high because usually I have to have it at high to get it to pressure completely. So every stove is different. This is a flat top glass. My friend Tia has the same flat top glass, not the same brand, but a flat top glass. Hers gets to pressure quicker than mine. I don't know. I wish I had gas, but I don't. Anyway, guys, I will be back when this gets to pressure. How about that? And then I'll show you what that looks like and put that on there. And then I will be back after our 15 minutes. Okay? All right. All right, guys. So it popped up. I can't get too close because it's steam coming out of there too. So that's what it looks like when it pops up. So now we are going to add our weight, and we are going to start our timer once my weight starts rocking, which should be fairly soon. And we're going to let these pressure can for 15 minutes. So it is 8:21 now. I will probably be back by 8:40. No, I said 15 minutes, 8:35. because I'm gonna give it a few minutes to make sure it's good in that pressure. Okay, 8:35. All right, guys, there you go. It's time. So remember I told you that after it got going, it would start rocking. So you hear how it sounds. It's like a hissing, and it's rocking. It's that pressure, and it's been just, doing its thing for 15 minutes. So I'm gonna turn this eye off, and then I'm gonna just let it cool down till that stops rocking, and that thing back there drops. Okay? Once that drops, that's when I'll take this off. Okay? Not until then. So when that drops, I'll take this off. I'll vent it just only by unlocking it. I won't take the lid off, and I'll let it cool some more before I take the jars out. Okay? So I'll be back. All right, y'all. So my green beans are ready. Yes, I have on a different outfit. I take a shower. As these were pressurizing, I was working out in the garden. I'll be just sitting around, y'all. Okay? Got stuff to do. So I was out there cleaning up the weeds and stuff in my yard. So anyway, as you can see, I took the thing off, the weight. Oh, they're still bubbling. Hold on, y'all. All right. I might even hear them pop. That's when they seal. And that's what they're looking like. Y'all hear that? It's siphoning a little bit. It's about to pop. It's siphoning a little bit. From the pressure. So all I'm doing now is pulling them out the canner and sitting them on this paper towel, on this towel, this kitchen towel. And I'm just going to allow them to sit there, and as they complete the sealing process, I'll hear this like boop, which lets me, when you look at them, I really don't want to do it because I don't want to make it false suction, but it's like, let me see if I can show you. Like it's still kind of popped upwards. When it's sealed, let me show you. It'll look like this one. See how that's flat? I'm sending this to somebody, which is why it's sitting out. See, you can't press down on it. That one, I could take my finger and press it, and it'll make like a little popping sound as it's going up and down. I don't want to mess with the sealing process of it. These are some jalapenos that I canned up last year. So like you see that it's flat. And then when I go to open it, which I can never do it with my hand anyway. And that's a way you can test them too after they seal. But I always have to put something like a fork or a knife or something right kind of up under the lip of it and pull it up. But you'll hear it pop again as you open it. You'll hear that pressure release from it sealing. I was trying to procrastinate a little bit to see if any of them would seal, so you can hear the noise it makes. But if you ever canned, you know what I'm talking about. If you've never canned before, watch other canning videos and you'll hear them. Or maybe a video I do later with some other things that I can up. You'll hear it. I will be canning more green beans. I am hyped about the fact that I am canning my own green beans. I still haven't gone back to watch the video for the variety this was. And it's still bubbling a little bit. Those green beans, that harvest that I did with that Dollar Tree wastebasket, that was over 6 days, over a 6-day period. When I left, I had no green beans. Came home, and they were loaded. So I want to look at the video to see what that was, because I only planted on one half of that bed. That other half I still have not planted anything in. So I will plant some more of those. I did plant some green beans at the community garden. A couple plants came up, but not all of them. Yeah. It has been raining so much in Ohio that it's causing problems with my germination of my seeds. So now I kind of know why the couple next to me, the plot that's always very uniform, everything they plant is from starts. Everything. And now I think I know why. Because the weather is so unpredictable. If we get rain like we have been getting, it will wash away your seeds and they'll come up somewhere else. It will press, cause them to sink down further where they never pop up out. It's just all the things, guys. So anyway, there's our green beans. I got 5 pints of green beans canned up. Yeah. And you could can them with like some smoked meat or something like that too. I've done beans that way, red beans and smoked turkey. Cans up fine. You will can it longer. When you're dealing with meat, typically meat takes longer in the canning process. So you will can your items per whatever item in the full jar that has the longest process for canning. So like when I do chicken soup with chicken and vegetables, like a chicken and vegetable soup, chicken is going to take longer. I think it takes like an hour or something like that, hour and a half, hour 15, depending on the size jar. I'm going to can per the chicken and not the vegetables, because vegetables don't take as long. Okay. So I do have, like I said, the ball book. Let me grab it and I'll show you what I have. All right, y'all. So this is the ball book that I have. So I got this book on Amazon. It is in my Amazon affiliate storefront. So the link is in my about. But it has, recipes on how to can pretty much all the basic main things that most people can. I mean, there's more things that you can get recipes for, but see, there's my beans, and I think those are carrots. Nope, that's salsa and asparagus. So green beans, asparagus, salsa, and this is actually the meat, seafood, and vegetable section of the book. But yeah, pretty much everything you want information on canning. So I use this book as a guide. I had to go find where I put it though. And when I don't feel like pulling it out, I'll just go on YouTube University. So don't be sleeping on YouTube University, because you can find out what you want there too. This one's sealed. I actually heard one pop when I went to go get the book, but the other 4 still have not yet. So too bad we didn't get to catch it on camera. Anyway, I hope y'all like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. All right, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching. Peace.